Hi everyone, I'm Tom Blefko and welcome to 5 Good Minutes. Well, the National Association of Realtors held their annual conference in San Diego last week. Now, typically this event is an opportunity to network with people from around the country that you talk to on the phone but never really get to see in person. You would typically see maybe 1 or 2 minor policies voted on that would tweak how we do business as agents and brokers, but nothing really earth-shattering. This year, San Diego was different. A whole slew of major policy shifts were discussed and enacted that will affect how we do business going forward. So let's get started. I see 5 big changes. Big change number 1, starting on January 1st, 2022, agents and brokers will be prohibited from advertising their services for free. I know many agents have been telling their buyer clients for years that their service to the buyer was free because they would collect the buyer agency portion of the commission from the listing agent. Well, you're still collecting a fee, so your service isn't free. You're going to have to change what you say. In addition, agents and brokers will be banned from filtering out listings from website displays based on buyer-broker commissions or the name of the brokerage or agent. And finally, MLSs will be required to display buyer-broker commissions on their listing sites and to include buyer-broker commissions in the data feeds they provide to agents and brokers. By the way, this last policy that I just talked about here won't impact individual agent and broker websites, which are exempt from this policy. It only applies to MLS websites. Now, personally, I like all these changes. The more the public sees how and how much buyer agents get paid, the better. It's going to force agents and brokers to describe to buyers what their unique selling proposition is, as I discussed last week. Transparency. I'm all for it. Big change number 2. This one also has to do with transparency, but in a different way. NAR approved a policy to require the display of a listing broker's phone number or email address next to listings on agent and broker websites. Now, I know this is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way because it will make it easier for a consumer to contact the listing agent when perusing around a competitor's website. But the bottom line on this one, those that list property are going to benefit the most. Big change number 3. NAR approved a case interpretation of its hate speech policy that makes display of the Confederate flag a violation of the Realtor Code of Ethics. Now, some people say that this restriction is a violation of the First Amendment rights of free speech. I get it. I'm a big believer in the Constitution of the United States. However, I also recognize that as an association, we should strive to be as inclusive as possible when it comes to housing issues. When you chose to join the National Association of Realtors, you agreed to abide by their code of ethics. The Confederate flag, in my opinion, is and was a symbol of racial exclusion and should not represent realtors. Big change number 4. The NAR board, in my opinion, has just baffled me over the years. I never understood how 900 plus people can gather in a room and have a reasonable discussion about association and housing policies. By the way, you heard me right, over 900 board members. How can you possibly get anything done? The U.S. House of Representatives only has 435 members, which is less than half of NAR's board, and they are making laws that affect the entire country. Apparently, there were a lot of members on NAR's board who also agreed with me. Starting in 2024, NAR will shift the vast majority of decisions to an executive committee comprised of 71 members to review and vote on recommendations made by committees. This executive committee will meet 4 times a year, either in person or virtually, and because of its size, will be able to make more decisions in less time. And finally, big change number 5, and one of the biggest takeaways from this year's conference. For the first time ever, NAR will be led by a majority of top leaders who are female. Congratulations to all the influential women that were elected to the upcoming year's NAR executive leadership team. Keep pushing the envelope. Until next time, all the best.